Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. We're back on the Supra for another day. It's actually a pretty exciting day. I got a call from Doug saying that the brake calipers are all ceramic coated, so I can go get those. They're still not done because after we choose the color of the car, we're going to get the Supra air put back on it to match the color of the car, and then Paintworks is going to clear it with a high temperature clear coat, make them look all nice. But he's got the oil pan done, so once the oil pump comes in for the Supra, I can put the oil pump on, and then we can button up the bottom end, put the oil pan on the pickup and that kind of stuff. So that's exciting. I am also going to, after I run down to competition to pick up those parts, I'm also going to pick up some saw blades. I bought a bandsaw to finish up those aluminum brackets. Kind of bugs me that the place that sells the saw doesn't sell saw blades, so I'm gonna run down and grab those as well, and then also I'm gonna see if I can grab some body fill today, and a wire wheel and whatnot, and see if we can't clean up the fender of the Supras. We'll get this here. We'll get this here cleaned up, get it ground down on the outside here, get the inside cleaned up, and then body fill that and make it all nice and smooth. So when the quarter panel goes on, everything's nice and smooth. So I don't know if I'll get to doing the body work in this video. I'm gonna pick up the stuff I need for it, and I'll get to that. But today, like I said, I'd like to get those plates done up. I'd like to get that finished. I also want to get down and pick up those parts from Doug because I'm excited to see how those turned out. And like I say, once the oil pump comes in, we can button up the bottom end of the 2J. Keep moving forward on that. So yeah, I'm going to see what I can do here, and we'll get going on today's video. Well, let me tell you, having the right tools definitely helps. I did in 10-15 minutes on the bandsaw what was taking me hours to do without the bandsaw. So definitely happy I got it. So I got all of them done down here. I have to do a little bit, just a tiny bit of trimming, but just to give you guys an idea of what I'm doing. So this one here, right, you can see that line on there. I still got to trim just a little bit more off. But that's going to slide right up under there like that, and that's going to take the full weight distributed over the entire size there, the entire width, and it's going to keep the seam up top nice and tight without putting any stress on the fiberglass. So on the top one, the one that's going on the quarter that'll be up here, I'm going to put the riv nuts in it. I'll drill the holes, And then, like I said, I'll put this one on the bottom, and then we're gonna bolt it from the bottom. And we're gonna bolt it from the bottom, and that way there we should be able to bolt the body kit on, or at least the pieces that should be accessible, the front bumper, the back bumper, the skirts, fenders, and have that stuff come off. So definitely happy with that. I'll do up more videos as we do the progress here. So I got the body fill that I was looking for. So I got the fiberglass reinforced stuff, just because I want to make sure that it's nice and strong on those fenders. So that'll be coming up in a day. But this we got back today from competition, and these are the calipers. So they've been ceramic coated, they're all nice and clean. Now it's still matte. We had them actually, the reason we had them ceramic coated instead of powder coated was just because it'll deal with the heat much better. But it's still matte like that. What we're gonna do is so what won the vote was to put Supra back on it, like the original Supra. But I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna wait until the color is picked out for the car, and then Derek at Paintworks is going to put that Supra back on there in the color of the car so that it matches. Then he's gonna put a high temperature clear coat over the whole thing, which is gonna brighten that black up a little bit so that it's not so dull. And we won't have to worry about the brakes, you know, down the road, the heat beating off on the paint and stuff like that. They should look good for a long time. So those are all in there. Like I said, they're all in the box. I'm gonna leave them there because we do still got to get them painted. This is the pan that we brought down. This is the original one that came on the engine. This is the one that we needed. So they put it through. They put it through the bath for me and cleaned it all up. I'm going to take the wire brush to the outside and stuff just to clean it up a little bit more, and then I'll paint it the same color black. I'll have to tape all this off again and that kind of thing. But there, he machined that hole out and put the studs in so that we can put the oil return from the turbo onto this. This is what this one had. It had the oil return, I guess, over on the other side here. So this one had this oil return, and this is off the GE. It didn't have the oil return, but it was there. It just wasn't punched out. So they machined that out for us and put the studs in, and they ceramic coated the brakes for us as well. So Derek's just got to put the name back on those, and we'll be able to rebuild those. I do want to give a special thanks to Doug and the guys at competition. He loves what we're doing. He's always happy to help out, and for ceramic coating the brakes and machining out the oil pan and all that stuff, he did that for free because he's trying to help us keep the cost down on the build. So a huge thanks to Doug. I really do appreciate it. Like I've said in multiple videos before, we're definitely going to be going over on budget, so every little bit helps, and the guys at Competition Automotive are always there to help out anytime we need them. So if anybody needs any machining, I mean, they're a full machine shop. They build some of the craziest engines that you've seen. You need any machining done, you live in Ontario, Competition Automotive in Richmond Hill. I mean, they're the only guys to go to. I'll leave their contact information in the description in this video. It'll probably be in the description for the rest of the videos, actually, from here on out, just because we use them a lot for everything. But so that there, and then like I said, the next video, guys, probably going to be me working on the fenders, that kind of thing. I'll just touch up these little pieces, like the little pieces that I have to trim up. But like I say, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm definitely happy with the idea that we went with the brackets, because I think overall it's going to allow us to service it. And like I said in previous videos, I just don't want to put the car together and paint it together. I want to paint it separately. I want to be able to put the bumpers on and off and kind of adjust stuff. And it's just better if it's serviceable instead of just gluing it on. So definitely happy with that. We are starting to get parts back. Like I said, the brakes are in. The powder coating from Gorilla probably going to be done early next week, Monday, Tuesday, which means I can start reassembling the cradle and stuff like that. The rear sub-assembly, although we do still have to vote on differential. So for the differential, guys, for the rear differential, I told you we are going to go with a Ford 8.8 rear end because it's what's going to work. It'll hold the power no problem, and it doesn't cost a crazy amount of money. So I'll show you here. Here's an email that I emailed a JDM importer. Actually, the same importer that we bought the 2JZ from and the K24 last year on Formula One weekend. I emailed him and asked him if he had a transmission, the V160 transmission out of the Supra, or if he can get one, just because I think it would be cool to have that transmission in the car, and I know a lot of you guys would like to have that transmission in the car. And here's the email where he emailed me back and said, yeah, he might be getting one in. He just sold one a couple weeks ago for $14,000 US. Here's another one on eBay that's a new one or a refurbished one. They want $17,500 US. Crazy numbers, guys. It's just not in the budget to use that transmission, and the same thing goes with the rear end. I have found a couple of the 6-speed manual turbo Supra rear ends, and the people that have them, they I don't know if they think it's made of gold or what's going on, but you know, they want $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 for a rear differential. We can buy a Ford 8.8-inch independent rear end, like out of an S550 or out of a Ford Bronco, you know, or a Blazer. There's tons of cars that have them. And we can definitely put gears in that'll hold the power no problem. $400. You know, another couple $100 for a gear set. It's just not feasible to use the stock one. I mean, even with the Greenwich Racing conversion kit to put the Ford 8.8 in, I mean, even it's only $1,500 US or $2,000 US. So I mean, we're still going to be $3,000 for the rear end instead of $6,000. For the transmission, I'm probably going to put a vote up for it, guys. So a lot of guys are suggesting using the CDO9. I believe it is. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it's the CDO9 or the CDO009, something like that, out of the Nissan 350Z. It's supposed to hold great power. It can hold 700 foot-pounds. They're cheap. They're like $2,000. And you can get a conversion plate to make them work. Now, I looked into that, and to make that work, you've got to cut the front like bell housing off, put this plate in, cut another bell housing off of like the Supra transmission. It just, I don't know, it doesn't sit well with me. I don't like cutting and kind of hacking stuff together like that. And I don't know if that's the right word, because I know I've seen online there's a ton of guys that do it. They're super happy with it. They, you know, but I'll put up a vote. I think just buying a Tremec, you know, and the bell housing and everything, it'll have the QuickTime bell housing on it, which is good for shatterproof, like for shattering a clutch and stuff like that. It's great for if someone does take it to the track, and it's going to be a bolt-up application. So a Tremec, a TKO 600, a T56, Magnum, whatever. I think that's probably going to be the way to go. And again, with the bell housing and the conversion kit to put it on a Supra, maybe $4,000 US, $5,000 US. I'm not too sure. It's definitely one of the more expensive parts of the build, but I mean, we knew it was coming, and so we planned for it, type deal. So that's kind of where we are on the transmission, guys. I am going to put up a vote at the end of this video. I'm putting up a vote, and it's going to be on what gears you guys want in the Supra, in the rear end. So I'm going to put up, I don't know what the stock gears are. I forget. I'll put them up here. I'll find out what they are, and I'll put up what the stock gears are in the 6-speed manual turbo rear end out of the Supra. And then I think I'm going to give you guys the options for 355s, 373s, 410s, and 456. I think that's a pretty wide range. I don't think you'd want to go lower than 4.5 or 355. It's a real kind of slow gear. And I mean, 456 is, you know, if you guys are going to take it to the track, I mean, I'm sure we're probably going to end up somewhere at 373, 410, somewhere in there. But look for the link. The link will be in the description below. We'll put up a vote for that and get working on the rear end, because I have purchased a rear end, an 8.8 Ford independent rear end. I do need to go pick it up. It's a couple hours away, but anyway, I'll get up and pick that up. And yeah, so the next video, guys, I'm going to be working on the body panels again. I'm going to be doing the skimming, just the filling in of where we grinded for the fenders. Get that finished up so we can get that off to powder. I know Derek and Ryan are working on the colors right now. They've got some real cool colors. And guys, I won't even lie to you, like these guys, they literally went to supercar colors. So I mean, they looked at Lamborghinis and McLarens and you know, I mean, the Acura NSX and just crazy supercars, and picked supercar colors because they think it's going to emphasize the body lines. And they believe that when the car is done, it's going to be a supercar. So I'm excited. I kind of feel the same way. I haven't seen the colors yet, so I would love to give you guys a heads up on what's coming, but they're kind of keeping it a surprise even from me. So definitely excited to see what's happening with the colors. And like I said, we're starting to get parts back now. We're gonna have to start looking at suspension and ordering up suspension parts, because the rear cradle is gonna come back. I'm gonna get all the urethane bushings and all that kind of stuff, so we can start putting the rear sub-assembly together. And what else we got to do? We've got to do drive shafts. I'm assuming, I'm going to look into it, but I mean the drive shaft shop, or DSS, a lot of people know them as DSS. They're the drive shaft shop. They're the ones that did my drive shafts in the Mustang, my half shaft, stuff like that. I think the half shafts for this, I think they're the only ones that are going to make a drive shaft to go from a Ford 8.8 rear end to the Supra hubs. I'll look into that. I could be wrong, but that kind of stuff still needs to be done. So lots to do, guys. For those of you that are new to the channel, I know I've been rambling on here for a few minutes, but for those of you that are new to the channel, we are building this 1997 Toyota Supra. It is going to be a Veilside 4509 GTR body kit. That's all these pieces here, and behind me, that's what I was making the plates for. We are building this car strictly on the votes of subscribers. You tell us how you want the car. We are going to build it how the fans want it. And when the car is done, one lucky subscriber is going to win the car. So make sure you hit that subscribe button for your chance to win it. Hit the notification button to get the video notifications when they come up. Follow us on Instagram, Facebook, all that stuff. And we'll see you in the next video.